Okay, moving on. I'm sorry about that little glitch. Um, who wrote Waiting for Godot? Samuel Beckett. This is absurdist theater. This is probably the most popular absurdist play. Samuel Beckett. Number 10. Hell is Other People expresses the theme of which existentialist drama by Jean Paul Sartre, No Exit? In No Exit, you have three characters who are basically trapped in a room for eternity. They are in hell, and their hell is having to spend eternity with each other. These are people from very, very different backgrounds and a very difficult eternity for them. Hell is other people. Number 11, what is psychological realism? Psychological realism is the was the dominant movement after World War II in or to directing and acting in theater. Remember the influence of the Russians, Stanislavski, members of the group theater, the influence that they had in theater on playwrights like Arthur Miller, Tennessee Williams. These were plays that dealt with the psychological aspect of the characters, what psychologically driven drama, if we could call that. And this was the approach in directing and acting. Now, when we talk about modified realism, which is number 12, let's consider that this has to do with production, more so than directing and acting, how that play is put on the stage. How do these actors move about in this environment? You can see the descriptions in plays like, and if we can move forward to number 13, who was Tennessee Williams? Name one of his plays. Tennessee Williams, American playwright, wrote many plays. I've posted a production of The Glass Menagerie on Blackboard for you to watch. But he also wrote A Streetcar Named Desire, as well as Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. The Rose Tattoo is another of his plays. In each of these plays, Williams describes the setting that is basically realistic but modified in such a way that it helps reinforce the theme of the play. I won't go into detail, but this is the approach of modified realism in production, in what would become the set of the play. Very interesting. All right, so 14, Tennessee Williams, American playwright, A Streetcar Named Desire, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, The Glass Menagerie, those are his plays. Number 14, what made musicals so popular after the wars? They were musicals. They were happy. They featured dancing and costumes and singing, and usually they were, if not comic, if they weren't comedies, they were love stories, and it was feel-good entertainment. Number 15, what brought about decentralization in the American theater? The need for theater to move away from New York. There was a desire for live theater in different parts of the country, a need for it. And that's what took theater away from the theater center, which was New York and Broadway. 16, Broadway, off-Broadway, and off-Broadway. What distinguishes them? The size of the theater. Starting at the very smallest, off-Broadway theaters can have up to 99 seats in the theater. Up to 99. So 99 or less. Off-Broadway houses can have up to 499 seats in an off-Broadway house. So 1 to 499. In a Broadway house, you can have above 499 seats in the house, in the theater. So that's the difference. That's the distinction. Okay. Number 17, what was the NEA, or what is rather the NEA, and when was it formed? The NEA is the National Endowment for the Arts, and it was formed in 1965. This was formed by our government as an organization that supports nonprofit arts groups all over the country. Over the years, it has, these are your tax dollars, and over the years, the reserves, the amount of money in the National Endowment fluctuates. At some points, it was, I think, back in the 1980s, quite high. The amount of money there, the resources were significant. And depending on our economy, it kind of fluctuates, as well as the political party that happens to be in the White House at the time, depending on their understanding of the necessity for the arts in our society. Okay, that brings us to the end of the section on Chapter 7 and 8. I'll end here. I'll be back in a minute with Chapter 9.